Why aren't the cards working? Ryan's hysterical screams echoed from Bangkok as he discovered all his credit cards were blocked. While enjoying his romantic getaway with his young mistress and lying to his wife about a Seattle business trip, Ryan had no idea that Emily, his quiet, gentle wife, had secretly orchestrated the most brutal revenge. While he was living it up as king of the world on the beach, Emily had drained their joint accounts, changed the locks, filed for divorce, and leaked his pathetic begging voice messages to his entire company group chat. From successful boss to homeless, jobless man abandoned even by his mistress, all in one night. But this was only the beginning of her terrifying revenge. And before we continue, please write in the comments where you're from and how old you are. Okay? Let's enjoy listening. Ryan rolled his eyes, pulling on his mask of busyness that Emily had learned to spot from a mile away. Honey, you know how it is. Work is work. Can't be helped. Important project in Seattle. Gotta fly. Emily nodded, stirring her cooling coffee with a spoon, trying hard to keep even a hint of doubt out of her voice. Of course, darling. Work comes first. When's the flight? Tomorrow morning. Back in a week. Maybe a bit longer. Depends on how things go. Ryan pecked her on the cheek, already mentally packing his suitcase, but not for Seattle at all. Emily watched him go. He thought she was blind, stupid. She'd seen the tickets he'd carelessly left on the table. New York to Bangkok, not Seattle, and not business class like he usually booked for himself, but economy. So he wasn't flying alone, clearly not for work. She didn't make a scene. Not now. Now was the time for silence. Silence before the storm. After he left, Emily grabbed her laptop first thing. She knew his email password. He'd never bothered with anything more complex than her birthday. The inbox was full of work emails, but Emily knew where to look. The spam folder. That's where he hid his chats with Nicole, that young flight attendant with lips pumped full of filler and eyes full of greed for easy money. Screenshots. Dozens of screenshots. Sweet messages. Photos with hearts. Plans for an unforgettable vacation. Emily felt a wave of nausea rising in her chest, but she couldn't back down. She methodically saved every image, every location tag, every detail. This was her weapon. Then she opened the banking app. Joint accounts, credit cards, investments, everything they'd built together over 10 years of marriage. Or rather, everything he'd built, as he loved to emphasize. Emily worked as an accountant at a small firm, and in Ryan's opinion, her salary was just pocket change. He was a logistics manager, earning way more, and he never missed a chance to remind her of it. But money, as they say, loves silence. And in that silence, Emily knew how to count. She knew every transfer, every expense, and she knew how to turn it all against him. That evening, Emily called her mother. Margaret Owens was a retired lawyer with a bulldog's grip and a razor-sharp mind. "Mom, I need your help," Emily said quietly, trying to steady the tremble in her voice. "What's wrong, sweetheart?" Margaret always sensed when something was off with Emily. Emily told her everything about Ryan's affair, his plans, her suspicions. Margaret listened in silence, only occasionally asking for clarification. "I see," she finally said. "So, our boy decided to stray. Well, it happens, but we're not letting him off easy. I want a divorce," Emily said firmly. "And I want him left with nothing." "That's entirely possible," Margaret replied. "We have grounds, infidelity, financial tricks. The key is to act fast and precise. Come over tomorrow. We'll make a plan." The next day passed in a blur. Emily arrived at her mother's early in the morning. They sat at the table for hours, poring over documents, crafting a strategy, calculating every move. Margaret was calm and confident, like a tank. She knew every loophole in the law, every way to protect her daughter's interests. First, they prepared the divorce petition. Margaret insisted on listing infidelity as the cause. Let the world know what a scumbag he is, she said. Then they tackled the finances. On her mother's advice, Emily transferred all the money from the joint accounts to her personal one. Ryan was sure he controlled all the financial flows, but he had no idea Emily had quietly opened her own account years ago, siphoning off bits of his salary. He never cared about my money, Emily explained. Thought it was beneath him. Good, Margaret said. All the better for us. They also blocked Ryan's access to online banking and changed all the passwords. Let him squirm, Margaret smirked. The last item on their plan was a temporary restraining order against approaching the apartment or the business. The apartment was in Emily's name, as was the small accounting services firm she'd started a few years back. Ryan thought it was just her hobby, nothing more. He had no clue it brought in steady income. He thinks I just sit at home waiting for him to come back from work, Emily said. He has no idea what I really do. Perfect, Margaret repeated. Let him keep living in his illusion. The wake-up will hurt more. On the day Ryan left, Emily felt strange. On one hand, it hurt and stung. On the other, she felt a surge of strength and resolve. She was no longer the quiet, beaten-down woman he thought she was. She was turning into a warrior. Ryan, as always, was in a rush. He pecked her goodbye, tossed out a casual "I'll call," and bolted from the apartment, sure of his impunity. Emily watched him leave and pulled out the prepped documents from her bag. The divorce petition, account freeze notices, restraining order. She laid them on the table like cards in a solitaire game. Ryan thought she was weak and helpless. He thought he could twist her however he wanted. He was dead wrong. Emily smiled. It was a cold, calculated smile. The smile of a woman who'd decided to take her life into her own hands. Ryan had no idea what awaited him, but he'd find out soon, and he'd remember this lesson for life. Ryan lounged blissfully on the chaise under a palm tree's shade, lazily sipping his cocktail. Bangkok's sun gently warmed his lotion-slicked body. Beside him, on the next chaise, Nicole, in a tiny fuchsia bikini, was snapping selfies, occasionally tossing him sultry glances. He felt on top of the world. A successful logistics guy, as he liked to call himself, escaped from routine, from gray New York winter, from under-nagging Emily's wing. Here, in Thailand, he was king, and Nicole his queen. "Rai, snap me, please," she cooed, handing him her phone. "Like this so the sea and palms show." Ryan gladly obliged. Nicole was hot young, vibrant, not burdened by brains, the perfect escape buddy from reality. He grinned smugly, imagining Emily buried in her accounting reports back at the office, clueless about his little life party. After the photo shoot, Ryan decided to order more cocktails. Waving over the waiter, he pulled his bank card from the beach bag and tapped the terminal. Declined. "What the hell?" he muttered, trying again. Declined again. He frowned. Maybe a system glitch? He tried another card. Same thing. Third one. Same story. "Sorry, sir." "Maybe an issue with your bank," the waiter said politely. Ryan felt irritation building inside. "How is this even possible?" he roared, drawing stares from around. "There's a ton of money in there. Do you know who I am?" Nicole winced unhappily. She hated scenes. "Rai, why are you yelling? Maybe just pay cash?" Ryan had little cash. He'd planned to use the card. He had to humiliatingly beg Nicole for some Thai baht to cover the cocktails. Furious and humiliated, Ryan decided to sort it out right away. He stepped aside and dialed Emily. After a few rings, she surprisingly picked up. "Yes, Ryan." Her voice was even and calm, like nothing happened. "Em, what the fuck is up with my cards? They're not working. I can't pay for anything." A short pause hung on the line. "They're not your accounts anymore, Ryan," Emily said calmly. "What do you mean, not mine? What are you babbling about? Those are our joint funds." "No more joint anything. All accounts are restructured." Ryan felt the ground slip away. You You've lost your mind? I'm coming back right now, and we'll talk. Come back. Lots of interesting stuff waiting for you. Emily hung up. Ryan stood thunderstruck, phone in hand. He tried logging into online banking. Password rejected. Reset via SMS. No SMS came. He realized he'd been locked out completely. Panic clawed at his throat. He recalled Emily's words. Not your accounts anymore. But how? How could she do this? He'd always controlled the finances. He was the breadwinner, or had he just imagined that? Nicole watched him curiously. What's wrong, Rye? You're all pale. It's bad, Nicole. Really bad. He tried explaining, but she seemed clueless about the gravity. Maybe just a mistake. You'll fix it when you're back. Don't ruin the vacation over it. Ryan tried to calm down, but anxiety wouldn't let go. He called the bank. They refused info. He got it. Emily had done everything legally tight. She'd prepared. Over the next hours, Ryan futilely tried restoring access to his money. He called friends, colleagues, family. No one could help. He felt helpless, exposed. Nicole grew more irritated. She was bored, stuck in the room. She wanted fun, restaurants, shopping. Rye, why are you glued to that phone? Let's at least go out. Nicole, I can't go anywhere. I have no money. No money? But what about... She stopped, but Ryan knew what she meant. What about the sponsor? It hit him then. He wasn't just in a financial hole, he was in deep shit. Emily had stripped him of everything. Not just money, but self-respect, confidence, control. He remembered smugly leaving New York, sure he'd get away with it, picturing bragging to friends about his Thai adventure. And now, how could he face them? Nicole, seeing his crushed state, switched tactics. She hugged his shoulders and whispered, Don't worry, Rye baby. It'll be fine. We'll figure something out. Ryan sensed the fakeness in her voice. He realized for Nicole, he was just a walking wallet. And now the wallet was empty, so was his value. That evening, they went to a restaurant. Ryan felt awkward and degraded as Nicole picked the priciest dishes and drinks, knowing there was nothing to pay with. Back in the room, they fought. Nicole blamed him for ruining her vacation. Ryan yelled back, calling her mercenary and greedy. I thought you were a successful businessman, but you're just a broke loser, Nicole screamed. I'm not sticking around here with you. I'm flying home tomorrow. Ryan tried stopping her, but she was adamant. She packed and slammed the door. Ryan was left alone in the empty room, crushed and hollow. He realized he'd lost it all. Money, wife, mistress, self-respect. He was bankrupt in every sense. In a fit of despair, he grabbed his phone and recorded a voice message for Emily. Forgive me. I was an idiot. I get it now. Please, give back the money. I'll do anything you say. I'm begging you. He sent it and collapsed on the bed, face in hands. Tears streamed down his cheeks. He felt like the most miserable man alive. Ryan didn't know Emily had already heard his message. She sat in her quiet New York apartment, sipping tea, staring out at the falling snow. No gloating or pity on her face, just calm resolve. She knew she'd done right. She'd reclaimed her life. Morning hit Ryan with a pounding headache. Nicole was gone. He checked his phone. No reply or call from Emily. He tried calling again, no answer. Ryan knew his pleas went ignored. He was alone with his mess, trapped in the cage he'd built himself, no way out in sight. All he could do was wait. Wait to return to New York and face reality. A reality where he was nobody. Ryan landed in New York broken and furious. The flight from Bangkok felt endless. He replayed events in his head, hunting for any logical escape. Cards blocked. Nicole vanished like morning mist. One thought throbbed. Emily, what have you done? He cabbed home to their apartment, where coziness and what he thought was love had reigned. Pulling up to the familiar entrance, Ryan fought a wave of rage. Everything looked the same, but dread gnawed inside. He pulled out keys, jammed one in the lock, nothing. It wouldn't turn. He thought wrong key, but the spare did the same. Lock changed. "What the hell?" he whispered, pounding the door. Silence. No sound. He pounded harder, ready to break it down if needed, but the door mocked his helplessness. Finally, he spotted a small envelope taped to it. Ripping it off, he saw a printed sheet. Divorce, notice of marriage dissolution, and deregistration. He was no longer registered at this apartment, the one he'd called home. The lines blurred before his eyes, forming one horrific verdict. He was nobody here anymore. Panic choked him. He dialed Emily. Rings went unanswered. He called again and again, endless rings. Despair swallowed him. Alone. No money. No home. No support. Nicole, that flighty doll, bolted at the first whiff of trouble. He was sure she'd already snagged a new sugar daddy. In fury, he kicked the door. Pain shot through his foot, distracting from the soul-deep ache for just a second. He dialed Emily again this time. Busy signal. She'd blocked him. Ryan slumped on the steps, feeling pulverized. He couldn't grasp how it all crumbled so fast. Just recently, a successful logistics manager, confident in his future. Now, nothing. A thought of friends, colleagues flickered, but he shoved it away. Shame burned. Shame to admit failure, to beg for help. He'd always been the helper, now the beggar. He pulled out his phone again, opened the work chat mechanically, and there, like a shock, a new message. Voice from Emily. With shaking hands, Ryan hit play. His own voice blasted out, full of panic and despair. It was the exact voice message he'd sent Emily from Bangkok when the cards failed. His yells, pleas, humiliations, all public now. "Em, please, what have you done? Cards aren't working. I don't get it." Nicole left. "I need your help. Please answer." Ryan froze. This was the end. Emily hadn't just taken his money and home, she'd nuked his reputation, made him a laughingstock to everyone he knew. Minutes later, a message from his boss. Short, sharp. "Ryan, your services are no longer needed. Termination order awaits in HR." The world crashed for good. Ryan lost his job due to his stupidity, arrogance, betrayal. In despair, he stared at his former apartment door. Keys with Emily now. Him left on the threshold of his old life. No way back. Emily's face flashed her quiet, steady gaze. He'd never dreamed so much strength and fire hid in that calm woman. He'd underestimated her, and paid dearly. No place to sleep, nothing to eat, no one to turn to. Bankrupt, outcast, joke. He knew this was just the start. Ahead, months, maybe years of survival scrabble. But right now, one feeling. Utter, pitch-black hopelessness. Ryan rose from the cold steps and shuffled toward the subway. Had to go somewhere, do something. But where? What? No clue. He just walked, seeing nothing but darkness ahead. Meanwhile, Emily sat in a small seaside cafe. White wine glass in hand, endless ocean before her. She watched the waves, the horizon, heart filling with peace and lightness. She knew Ryan was desperate now, suffering. But no pity, no glee, just freedom. Free from lies, betrayal, the man who'd stabbed her. She sipped wine and smiled. A new life ahead, one she'd build herself. No room for pain or letdowns. Her phone pinged a new message from Ryan. Emily didn't even read it. She just hit block and erased him from her life forever. Emily returned to the apartment. Not theirs, hers. The air felt cleaner, lighter than ever. Like an invisible hand wiped away dust of grudges and disappointments, leaving empty space ready for fresh filling. She paused in the entryway, looking around. Gone were his carelessly tossed jackets, his scattered socks, his lingering scent cloying like cheap aftershave. The apartment exhaled, freed from his oppressive presence. She moved to the living room. Furniture they'd once picked together felt alien now. The couch where they'd watched movies recalled his indifferent snoring during her favorite dramas. The coffee table with his mug rings mocked her tidiness. All that had to change. First, Emily flung open the windows, letting in fresh air. It smelled of hope and change, blooming buds and damp earth. She turned on music soft, melodic, the kind Ryan always hated. It filled the space, banishing his last energy traces. She started sorting his things. No regrets. Shirts, pants, ties into big black bags. Each item seemed to cling to the past, but Emily was relentless. She tossed his photos, souvenirs, gifts, anything tied to their shared life. With special satisfaction, she ditched his favorite chair, that huge leather beast hogging half the room, irritating her with its bulk. She called movers. They wrestled it through the door and hauled it out. Emily watched it go, feeling a massive weight lift with it. Then, workers arrived. They stripped old wallpaper, painted walls in light pastels. Emily picked new furniture, bright, functional, matching her taste and comfort vision. New couch. Soft, inviting after a long day. New coffee table. Sleek, stylish, perfect for a steaming tea mug and beloved book. By evening, the apartment transformed. Bright, spacious, warm, and cozy. Emily felt like the boss here, free, independent. She placed a blooming orchid pot on the sill, symbol of new life, beauty, harmony. That evening, Margaret Owens arrived with good wine and chocolate box. Mother and daughter sat on the new couch, admiring the revamp. "How do you like it?" Emily asked anxiously, eyeing her mom. Margaret smiled. "Wonderful, Em. Bright, open, easy to breathe. You're amazing." They uncorked the wine, poured glasses. "To new life," Margaret said, raising hers. "To new life," Emily echoed gratefully, gazing at her mom. They sipped slowly, savoring the taste and quiet. For the first time in years, Emily felt peaceful, light. She shared plans, dreams starting fresh. "You're strong, Em," Margaret said, hugging her. "You'll make it." Emily knew her mom was right. She'd make it. She'd survived betrayal, deceit, humiliation, stood tall, grew stronger, now ready for new life full of chances and promise. Just then, a phone message. Emily glanced at the screen. Ryan. "Em, forgive me, please. I was an idiot. I get it all. Let's fix everything. I love you." Emily sighed. She knew more like this would come. He'd beg, plead, threaten. Couldn't accept losing her. Losing everything. She opened it, read again, then the next, third, fourth. He texted every 5 minutes, begging forgiveness, promising change, swearing eternal love. "Em, I can't without you. I'll die. Please, one chance. I'll give everything, all I have. Just come back. Begging you, don't destroy me." Then messages turned nasty, hateful, threatening. "You'll regret this. You'll learn not to mess with me. I'll get revenge. I'll make you pay. You'll cry blood." Then back to pleas, apologies, promises. "Em, I was wrong. Blind. I'll fix it. Be different. Best husband ever. Just one chance. I love you more than life." Emily read them blankly. No touch, no pity, no anger. Just fact. He was broken, crushed, ruined, got what he deserved. She smiled. Not gloating relief, liberation. She closed the messages and hit block forever. Ryan couldn't text, call, reach her anymore. Gone from her life for good. She looked at her mom. Margaret smiled, nodding approval. "Right, Em. That's how. Don't waste a second on him. You deserve better." Emily hugged her mom. "Thanks, Mom, for everything." They finished the wine, chatted more, and Margaret left. Emily felt free, independent, happy, master of her life, her future, ready for new adventures, meetings, love. She fell asleep, smiling. All right. Thanks for listening.